Hello everyone, Jeff here for Respawn Studios, back with episode 3 of Diary of an Achievement Whore. Now, I didn't think anyone actually watched anything I made, so it's been awesome to get comments and likes on these videos. And in this episode, you see I've changed my gamertag for the 8 millionth time. I'm now Jeff the Gleek, because my favorite show is Glee. And in this episode, we are going to cover the 10 best Xbox Live arcade games to get achievements in. Not just that they're the easiest, because some of them aren't, but they're by far the most fun games that you could easily, well, not, again, easily, but that you can definitely get all the achievements in, that you'll want to because they're good. First, I'm showing you Doritos' free game, Dash of Destruction, but when I tried to re-download it, it seems like you can't get it again. So I just wanted to show that, because that was really easy. You just beat it to get 200, but now I'm going to show you my favorite games. So 3D Ultra Mini Golf is awesome. It could have up to 4 different players in online play, so you can play with your friends. A lot of the achievements are fairly simple. Getting 6 holes in one sounds like it might be hard, or going 12 under par, but it's not. You just play for a while and you'll be pretty good. The medals can be kind of annoying, but there's definitely some guides up on YouTube and other places for how to get them. So that's a fairly simple 200. Now, Costume Quest. Oh, I'm also going to tell you the prices of the games. I'm sorry. 3D Ultra Mini Golf is 400 points. Costume Quest was initially 1,200 points. I'm not sure if it still is. It might be 800 now. If not, it's 1,200. And there's a DLC pack, which I think was 400, called Grubbins on Ice. But that might also be marked down to 240. This is a single-player game, but it's awesome. It's made by Tim Schafer, who did Psychonauts and some of the old LucasArts games like Day of the Tentacle. And you play as either boy or girl. You choose whether to play as the brother or sister. And you get in these simulated battles with these creatures where your costumes become like actual representations of these things, like a knight or a robot. And they have these powers in these RPG-esque battles. It's really, really cool. And the graphics are kind of cel-shaded, cartoony, and it's really, really fun. All right, DeathSpank. It's a funny name. It's a really funny game. If you haven't heard of it, it was pretty big on PC, and then they released it on Xbox. It's awesome. It's another single-player top-down action game. It's sort of like Diablo, if you ever played that. It's not dark like Diablo, it's funny and cartoonish, but the idea of you could equip different weapons and potions and a little menu, and I always kind of credit Diablo with popularizing that kind of style. I know lots of other games did it before that, but that's what makes me think of. It's really funny, and it's story-based. A lot of the achievements are simple, and then doing side quests, it's not bad, and it's so much fun. And that is 800 points, I believe. Dead Rising 2 Case 0 is 400 points. There's also Dead Rising 2 Case West, which has harder achievements and was 800 points because that could be co-op. Case 0 is single player. And what's awesome about these is they're kind of just like the full games themselves, like Dead Rising 2 or Dead Rising. And it's just a shorter version of it. So it's the same graphics, the same gameplay style, mechanics. The achievements are, for the most part, easy. Some of them will take beating it a few times, but beating it takes like an hour, so it's not bad. Getting money, $100,000 might sound crazy, but there's a casino where you can get like $40,000 just by hitting the machines and destroying them. It's really not bad. And again, like all of these games, it's a ton of fun. Golden Axe is only 400 points as well. It's an old school game. It was on Sega Genesis. And a lot of the achievements are, again, for mostly just beating the game. Some of them are reaching areas of the game without dying, which you could easily do in co-op. There's an achievement for beating it in co-op for local and online. The hardest achievement is to beat it without having to continue, but the easiest way around that is have your co-op partner take a lot of the damage so you don't. And you can get that fairly simply that way. If you have any questions about any of the achievements for any of the games I mentioned, feel free to post them in the comments, because obviously I have the achievements in these games, so I could give you any advice or tips. Now, Minecraft, one of the most popular games in the world, started obviously on PC and has a lot more in it right now on PC, but Xbox version slowly catching up. And it's so much fun, and it could be played with several people online. All of these achievements could be gotten in like 5 minutes. The hard ones are these last three. To use a minecart to travel 500 meters in one direction, to ride a pig and have it fall to its death, or to take damage, I should say, and befriend 5 wolves. But you could probably have a friend that has Minecraft and probably has a world that has those things set up, or most of these other items, which is making simple tools, opening your inventory, hitting a block of a tree, destroying a creature. The game is, again, so much fun, but you can get a lot of those achievements like in the first few minutes. I think Gino even put an achievement guide up in our channel of how to get a lot of them. All right, moving along, Risk Factions, I believe is 800 points. If not, it's 400 now. And it's like the board game Risk, obviously, but it also incorporates newer rules. So it's called Risk Factions, where there's capitals, whether there's ability cards now, not just cards that you could redeem for troops. They also give you certain things like an extra dice roll for attack die, defense die. They add 1 to the rolls you get, things like that. The achievements, some of them are online related, and I've heard from some people they can be glitchy. The hardest thing to get is win a 5-person command room game, because it seems like people quit or they start up games with fewer than 5 people all the time, so that could be pretty frustrating. But the game itself is awesome, so I highly recommend going for it. All right, now next to last of these top 10, if we include Dash of Destruction as one of them, The Walking Dead, which was actually named Game of the Year by Spike, if you trust the video game awards hosted by rap stars and things, but it is really good. It's cel-shaded graphic style, and it's like a point-and-click adventure game. It's not like a first-person or third-person action game or shooter in any way. You explore, you interact, there's a lot of button presses, and all of the achievements are for just completing the game. It comes in 5 different sections, and each section is 400 points, so it will put you back, what is that, 2,000 points, so $25, but it's worth it. You see, I've only done chapter 1 in this account, though. All right, XMen is our last of the main games to feature. It is exactly the version that was in arcades. If you're older than 15, I'd say, you probably saw this in pretty much every arcade that was around in malls. And you could play it widescreen like it was, or you could have it stretched and be a little more zoomed in, which is kind of cool. And it's up to 6 players in co-op. One of the achievements is to have 5 other players with you. You could play the American version or the Japanese version, which is kind of exactly the same. There's just some like pills you could pick up, so it's kind of strange. But that's one of the achievements. Mostly, otherwise, they're story-based. All right, so those are the main games. Now I'm going to show you some honorable mentions. The Ninja Turtles games. The Simpsons arcade game is so much fun. Some of the achievements are kind of crazy, though. The Sonic games, Sonic & Knuckles, Sonic 2, Sonic 3. Peggle is a lot of fun. It's, I guess you'd call it a puzzle game. You could also play it with friends, which is cool. The Geometry Wars games are pretty awesome. Duke Nukem 3D, one of the older school Duke Nukems. It could be played co-op, which is always fun. Dungeons & Dragons Daggerdale is really nice. It's can be single player or co-op, and it feels more like a full-scale game because there's a campaign that goes for a few hours, and it's really well done. Beyond Good and Evil is one of my favorite all-time games from Xbox and PS2 GameCube days, and it's the full version of the game as an arcade game, which is cool. Arcadian Warriors is a very overlooked game because it has really kiddie graphics, but it's like a dungeon crawling game, kind of like Diablo or Baldur's Gate Dark Alliance games. Champions of Norath, if you played those on PlayStation 2, it's similar in style to those. Again, it just looks cartoony. Alan Wake's American Nightmare. Alan Wake is my single all-time favorite video game, which if you've watched any of my other videos, I've probably mentioned that at some point. And the arcade game is awesome because it is Alan Wake. It's just a new campaign in a shorter form, but it uses the same graphics engine. It's the same very high quality. The campaign takes a good 4 to 6 hours at least. And then there's that mode you see in the screenshot there, survival mode. And then if you like 3D Ultra Mini Golf, there's a sequel that is much more difficult, but it's still fun, especially to play against friends. All right, so that's going to do it for Diary of an Achievement Whore Episode 3. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll be back with a new episode next week. Thanks for watching.